You ready?
Take one sip.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, I'm ready.
Good morning, guys. This is Jacob Sauls, marketing director here for Elite Truck. We're coming to you live for Harrison Boyd's first American Idol audition at the headquarters. No, we're actually starting a new series here for our social channels. It's titled Meet the Team. We're really excited about it. We've had a lot of our team members on kind of a podcast video already, but the purpose of this one is to really show you a bit more personal side of the company, to really, dive into the lives of our team members. We are a small company. We know that transparency and honesty is a big thing for our clientele, and we just want to show you some of the faces of the people that you might be speaking with when you call us or email us, and just dive into the personal lives of our team members. And Harrison had the unfortunate circumstances of being the first ones, so we'll dive right into it. And Harris, just tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, great intro there. I'm excited about this Meet the Team series for some of our customers to really see who they're buying product from. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's cool you're starting with me. I started Elite Truck back in 2019. I grew up here in Eastern North Carolina in Greenville. Kind of more on my personal side. Growing up, I didn't really play any sports or anything, but I raced motocross. That was a huge part of my life.
That's a sport.
Yeah, right? It was, but a little more aggressive than like soccer or football. But that was a big part of my life growing up. That's why I kind of mentioned it. Racing really gave me this drive to really go after the things you want. Mm-hmm. We couldn't afford like a mechanic to build our own motors, and couldn't afford like the best suspension and all that. So a lot of it I had to figure out myself or work around some of that stuff. So it was actually really rewarding. I got really big into racing. I raced in the pro class, state, national level. We traveled all over the East Coast racing. Like I said, the biggest thing it did for me was it really showed me if you really want something, you can get it. I've kind of said before, like when I was sitting on the starting line with 20 other riders, it wasn't really about who had the fastest motor or who had the fastest lap times in practice that morning. It was all about who wanted it the most. Mm-hmm. So, racing growing up kind of gave me the drive to go after some of the different businesses I've done, some of the different careers I've had. But, a lot of starting Elite Truck, I think the drive for that came from my early background in racing motocross. But yeah, I currently live here, still in Eastern North Carolina in Simpson with my wife and our little boy. Pretty much after racing, I went into engineering school at East Carolina. Had a great time at ECU, but
most people do.
I was so ready to go to work. Like yeah. I was so ready to do something more, and that's kind of what got me into my next couple of things.
Yeah. Was there anyone who's famous kind of now that you raced with that you still are in contact with?
Yeah, I grew up riding with Cooper Webb and some of those guys that are big time now. Yeah. When I got to college, that racing kind of dropped off. Mm-hmm. I got really interested in sales and some other jobs and stuff. So, racing turned into more of not a every weekend thing. It was more of a ride when I can, and then eventually that dropped off to ride here and there. But yeah, and as I got older, it was hard to take that risk. Yeah. With my jobs, I couldn't risk going out and getting hurt.
Yeah. Now you live vicariously through Mason's little tricycle or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in high school and college, it wasn't a big deal if I wasn't scared to go for it.
Now a broken back might be a bit more serious.
Yeah, that would take me out for a while.
So after racing, after college, what was next for you?
So I worked several years in sales. This was a big turning point for me because I really learned to communicate with people comfortably one-on-one. Mm-hmm. Sales was a big thing for me. I learned all the aspects of sales. Really enjoyed it. It kind of opened me up. Like I got to where I was comfortable speaking in front of a team. There was a lot that did for me really on the sales side of it, though, just learning, the whole world of sales and how to communicate with people. Um, Not long after that, I started working in the power generation industry. I worked on like big backup power systems for hospitals and data centers. That all kind of stemmed from my mechanical background with racing. Um, that job was it was a game changer for me. I went into it 100%. Um, I did everything I could. Like I learned everything I could about engines, generators, electricity, programming, and it really paid off. You know, Companies could bring me in to fix things instead of bringing in multiple contractors
Yeah.
because I kind of learned all sides of it. So with that, I traveled a lot. Like I would be in Florida one week, in Wisconsin the next week, and in California the next. Like it was a lot of traveling. I worked on, I was in the generator industry for about 7 or 8 years. But I worked on generators at American Internet Systems in San Diego. Worked on generators at the Pentagon. It was
They let you get that close?
yeah, they did. Yeah, believe it or not, they let me in there. It was it was a tough job, but it was really cool to learn that whole industry,
Yeah.
and it was really rewarding to be able to go into these facilities, especially if it was a data center or a medical facility or somewhere that was having an outage, to go in there and fix things and make it right.
Yeah.
The generator industry is probably where the focus on the customer and customer service, that's where I really first saw how impactful that is and how big of a deal that is. We learned pretty quick in that industry that if we knew what we were doing and we went in and did a job right the first time, that it paid off big time. Like those customers would come back, or we would get like preventive maintenance contracts set up out of the repair job that I did. So the focus on the customer, that's kind of where the drive for that really started.
Yeah.
A big thing too was like, I don't know, traveling with the generator business. I traveled so much. I got to see, everywhere I went, there was just so much opportunity. Like I saw so many successful companies, successful people, and got to work, in a lot of these companies. So it was really an eye-opening experience for me getting to travel so much.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like, with you talking about racing, giving you that drive of like who wants it,
Yeah.
it seems like that's such a common theme with people who start their own business, like
Yeah.
something from their childhood or something they did early on in their life or a situation that they were in, like really instilled that in them of that drive to succeed and get what you want.
Yeah, it's even to this day, a lot of things I do, I kind of look at it as a race.
Yeah.
Like it's just giving it 100%. Like, and racing, like, it wasn't just the race. It was like I had to build the motor that I raced with. So it was a huge challenge, but it was so rewarding when I won a race because it wasn't a big team of mechanics or a lot of people helping me. It was a motor that I built, went out there and won. It was really cool.
Yeah. You didn't have any monster sponsors at 12 years old?
Yeah, we had some pretty cool sponsors.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah. It was still a hobby, but we were big into it. We did, it was practice after school in the afternoons, and we built a private practice track here in Grimesland. It was actually really cool. We would go to these races, and if there was a jump that I couldn't do, we would come home and build it. So it was really cool because I learned how to jump the jumps and got really good at it. But the problem was our little private practice track we built was really dangerous. But yeah, like kind of stemming off of that, a lot of things that happened with racing kind of pushed me into the jobs I was doing, like gave me the drive with the generator business to really go after it.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of get into the other stuff with Elite, but it was kind of the same thing. In the generator business, if I was on a job and couldn't figure something out, like I'd go home at night and do research and try to figure out, exactly what's going on with that equipment or whatever I needed to learn.
Yeah.
But just having that drive to go after it 100%, like it paid off big time.
Yeah. So we've talked about racing and you getting into sales and eventually being a diesel mechanic.
Yep.
What kind of aspects from all that kind of inspired you to start your own business? Like, what was the first kind of thoughts that started turning in your mind about, I can go out and do this?
Yeah, I think it was the biggest thing, like I said, was traveling, getting to see so much, getting to see how big the the service market is, in not just the trade of power generation, but in electrical, heating and air, plumbing, construction, all these services, getting to see, how big that industry is. But what really started the idea was, we worked out of vans, trucks, we had some box trucks, trailers, we had quite a bit of different vehicles. We really struggled to find the equipment we needed. So simple things like toolboxes or towing equipment, transfer tanks, ladder racks, shelving, a lot of that stuff we could never really find one place to buy it from. So we bought it from multiple places, and it was a struggle, like just finding stuff that would fit the van nicely, that would work for the equipment we had. It wasn't as easy as buying a lot of other things you buy. Like you couldn't just go on Amazon and find what you need.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff we bought came in damaged, or it wasn't the product we ordered. There was a lot of issues with it, ordering from different places. And probably one of the biggest things was just working with these companies, trying to resolve those issues. I realized like their customer service isn't there. Like, there's companies in the industry that have good customer service, but there was no one that was like really going out of their way to take care of some of the issues we were having. And it, for a lot of companies, upfitting their truck or van's a big deal, but in the power generation industry, it was crucial because I would load up the stuff I needed in my van and drive to Florida to do this job, or drive to Oklahoma or wherever. So, I had to have my stuff organized and had to be right, and it all had to be durable. You drive halfway across the country, you're putting a van through hell, and it's so that was kind of where the idea came. Pretty much after seeing how big the industry that space is, and then seeing how like unserviced it was, or how hard it was to buy equipment. That's where I kind of developed that idea of let's build one website that has a huge selection, has all the products, so someone can come and compare everything in one place, but then just have the best customer service anyone's ever seen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the idea of Elite Truck was born.
Yeah. So you had those ideas going through your head of like what you wanted it to look like, and obviously you knew kind of what key points in the industry were missing. How did it start?
Yeah.
Like what was it on?
It was a roller coaster. So just like racing, sales, the generator business, I went into it 100%. I did this around full-time job with the generator business, but I would get up early and list products on the website. When I was driving, I did a lot of traveling, so when I was driving, I'd be on the phone setting up accounts with distributors and building relationships with vendors. Just trying to learn everything I could about the industry, and trying to figure out where's the best place to start with it, and is this really going to work? But yeah, a lot of early mornings and late nights. Kind of like I did with sales and the generator business. I focused on learning everything I could about the products. I felt that if I was going to offer really good customer service, that was the main thing. I had to really know the products. So I spent a lot of time just researching, but a lot of time with working with manufacturers on their product selection, and really digging into, how can I offer these products the best way to these customers.
Yeah. And that's no joke. Harrison can be driving down the highway and see a toolbox in the truck, and
Tell you
not
the
only
part number.
not only the brand or what it's called, but like the product ID of an individual toolbox. You spent too much time.
Yeah, it was valuable to my customers for me to know that information, and but yeah, it did turn into that. I could look at a toolbox and tell you the part number, tell you how thick the
Like, I've got to
aluminum
get away
is.
from this. I know more about the toolbox in the back of this guy's truck than he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So, you took those first crucial steps for it. I'm sure it wasn't easy. I know it wasn't easy. What were those early days kind of like? How would you summarize them?
It was busy.
Yeah.
I eventually made the transition to taking the leap of jumping into Elite Truck full time, and quitting my other job. That first little while there, it was really busy. I was on the phone all day long, like from when I got in the office in the morning until late in the evening. A lot of days we didn't even eat lunch. We didn't really have time.
Yeah.
A lot of it was constantly being on the phone. I would go home at night and do research and stuff to make sure I was quoting customers the right stuff and getting them the best thing to fit their needs. Um, I would say the biggest part of it though was in early on, and we still do this to this day with the team. But every single customer that called in, I really listened to them, really figured out what's their need, and I took time in really finding like what's going to be the best option for this customer. And no matter what I had to do, I made sure it was a good experience for them from when they called in to when they got the product. Calling after they got it and got it installed, making sure everything was good. Building that relationship with customers and just giving, like I said, customer service like no one had ever seen. That's what really pushed the business to grow in the beginning.
Yeah. So obviously with the values and that importance placed on customer service, at some point you realize that you might need some help to scale this. Like it was a great idea, but who were some of the people early on that you really reached out to and pitched this to and say, I think we can take this pretty far?
Yeah. Brian Sherman, he works in our operations over a lot of our customer service on the post-delivery side of things now. In the beginning, he worked with me a lot. In the very beginning, not even paying ourselves anything, just we both kind of saw the idea, and he helped a lot with listing products and stuff like that to help get it going. Warren, our VP, he came in and was a good friend of mine through high school, but we kind of got together on this, and he saw the opportunity in it too. And then with his marketing background and all that, he was able to come in and really help on the marketing side, but also help with the team. I was coming from being a diesel mechanic, and the generators don't talk to you.
If they do, it might be the fumes or something.
Yeah.
You're working indoors.
So I had years of doing that, and like I said, I loved it, but like that kind of I didn't have as much knowledge in building a team and managing a team. So Warren helped a lot in that area too. Once we got it kind of going, we made a couple of our first few hires. Jacob Gresham on our product team, he was one of our first employees. We hired him to come in and list products, and he did a great job back then, and he's killing it today. Like he does a really good job with products on the site. And then Harrison Overby was our first salesperson. That was a big leap for us because I was able to train him to work with customers the way I was working with them. We sat right beside each other, and it was really cool for him to be able to offer that same level of service on the phone that I was providing. That was a big step for me to see that we could take what I was doing with the customers and train it into someone else, and they do just as good, if not better. And Overby's still one of our best salespeople today. So that's really what the beginning. That's kind of the group that helped really get it started. From there it's grown and grown, but that was definitely the couple of initial people in the beginning that really helped get it going.
And I'm coming up on close to 2 years already with Elite, which is insane. And we have grown since I've started in those 2 years and added on some great new people. And I can definitely say that high importance placed on customer satisfaction and the quality of care that we offer and the products and the service, it hasn't been toned down. Like I'm sure it's really cool to look back and see that kind of boundary or that ideal goal that you placed on what we offer. Like it hasn't been diluted or anything by the people that we've brought on. If anything, it's been strengthened, with everyone's individual characteristics. And
that's what I was going to say. I think it's probably been strengthened. We've really early on we developed those core values and we've really stuck to them. But that like it's like an aggressive attention to good customer service. And really taking care of customers. Some of the things we do to like go out of our way for customers you wouldn't see from other companies. And that's like when you're looking at a company or even an individual that's buying stuff for their vehicle that they're going to be using every day. Like it's got to be right, and it's got to be what's going to work good for their use case. And then a lot of these people, they've got to have it in a certain time, and it's got to be delivered in a good manner and not damaged. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but we've got a good team now that's really taking care of that.
So obviously, outside of financial stability, which is a big thing of running a business, what would you say are some of the key successful moments in the couple of years, of running Elite, like whether that be early on or first hiring or something like that? What would you define some key successful moments?
I would say like seeing the customer feedback from
Mm-hmm.
what we were offering. We sell products, but I really see it as a service. Like we built a team that is designed to help a company or an individual find the products they need. So seeing the customer feedback from that, like seeing customers come back to us and or just the great reviews we see, and that I see as a pretty big accomplishment. Um, I would say probably one of the biggest accomplishments is kind of this aggressive attention on great customer service and a really good user experience. We've kind of built a reputation for that in the industry. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool to go to trade shows and stuff and see that our vendors, our customers, they all feel the same way about Elite Truck, like
Yeah.
that we've done a really good job working with customers. That's probably the number one, you know, if you look at kind of the success of it, I would say that reputation we built's really strong.
Mm-hmm. And that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
really easy
not.
to build a bad reputation, but to
Yeah,
go and everyone has that same opinion of like these people will take care of you
yeah,
and you can build that trust with them, and that takes time.
it does, it does. And it's kind of like in the generator business. You could do 100 jobs perfect, and then you mess up
Mm-hmm.
on one thing, and
That's what everyone,
that's what everyone
yeah.
remembers. But with Elite, we really take care of the customers, and if something goes wrong, like we're really professionals at making it right.
Mm.
So I think that's what stands out, and yeah, it's exciting to go to these places and or talk to vendors, talk to customers, and see what they have to say about that.
Yeah, no, that's huge. So obviously, this is your whole experiment.
Yeah.
It's been a success so far, but as the president and founder, what's your favorite thing about coming to the office every day?
There's a couple different things. I would say number one's we built a really cool team of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting to come work with this group of people every day is awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone here, I feel like, is invested in what we're doing and enjoys their job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a ton of fun that this is grown into what it is. But yeah, coming here every day and getting to work with this team is awesome.
Yeah, we've got office dogs. We do have
Yeah,
office dogs.
we do
That's a
have a couple
bonus.
office dogs. Yeah. Um, and like I said, even though we sell products, one of my favorite things about this is being able to provide these customers with this service. Like for, actually being of value to a company, like they can, reach out to us and we really can help them with,
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of things with their fleet. So I think that's, building a team that's dedicated to making that happen. That's really cool. I'm excited to come to work every day to see, how we can help more customers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you really never know what's going to happen every day. You walk into the doors, like it's always going to be someone new reaching out to us,
Yeah.
and like it's cool to look through and see, oh, this person or this company, knows about us and
Yeah.
has bought from us, like, NASA or something. Like
Yeah,
we've
there's
had
no
some
telling.
crazy names come in.
Yeah, my brother was on a job recently out of town, and they had another contractor on site, and the guy saw the Elite Truck sticker on
Hmm.
Russ's truck and was like, "Man, I buy from those guys all the time."
That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool to see how it's growing and that reputation staying so strong. But yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things is definitely just the team, and then the way we're able to service and help these customers and seeing that feedback from that.
Yeah. Sweet. So that's kind of a summary of the beginning up until now.
Yeah.
It's been a few years in the making and it's gone great, I would say. Uh, what are some of the things people can look forward to in the future with Elite Truck?
So I'm excited to grow our, the idea in the beginning was to build like a one-stop shop for everything. And,
Mm-hmm.
we found that we have a lot of companies we're working with now where they're buying almost all their stuff from us. But I'm excited to see our product offering grow on the commercial side, so we can really provide these companies with everything they need. But also on the consumer side, just for for everyday people looking for a toolbox or a bed cover or something, making sure we have that stuff they need. So I think growing the product offering, I'm really excited about, and just growing the business, sticking to our core values, and keeping our main focus on the customer and the user experience, but growing this into more product categories and really seeing what we can do with it.
Yeah. No, that'll be great. And I mean, our whole tagline is providing the ultimate shopping experience for the modern tradesman,
Yeah.
and finding ways that we can grow into that goal and realize it and make it happen are going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I'd like to really be able to help these companies with everything they need. It makes it a lot easier for them if they can get everything in one place, and just working with a team that's dedicated to making everything right for them. It's exciting for us to do that for them, and I think it's really a big value for a lot of these companies. And like I said, individuals too. I think in the consumer side of it, there's a lot we can do that I'm excited to expand into as far as new brands, new product categories that'll be really well for the company.
Yep. Not stopping until every truck has a toolbox
Yeah.
from us in the back of it.
Yeah, we're just making that process easy for people.
Yeah.
I think there's still a lot of room to grow, but I think the biggest thing is sticking to our core values and our aggressive attention on the customer experience.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Harrison, thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us. I'm looking forward to the future, and
Cool.
I think this will be a really good series to show the faces of the company and
Yeah, I'm
everyone's
really excited for our customers to
Yeah.
get to meet some of our team. Like I said, we've got a really good group of people that
Yeah.
work here. So
I mean,
that's
between our
exciting.
vendors and customers, I mean, people might speak to Tracy or whoever almost every day, but really like being able to put a face and story with the name will be really cool, and just humanize the brand, because when you purchase from Elite Truck, like, we really want you to know
Yeah.
who you're getting it from, and you can trust us.
Yeah, there's a lot more behind it than just a website and
Yeah.
and some people on the phone.
The
Like
voice recording.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's a dedicated team here.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So yeah, I'm excited about this series for customers, vendors, everyone to start to meet some of our people.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have a really cool story with the founding of Elite, and I'll be looking forward to the book in 15 years.
Yeah.
I'll get you to
We'll see how
sign
that
it.
goes. I'm
Yeah.
not much of a writer.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Harris. And if you guys have any questions for him or anything you want to learn more about, if you're trying to start your own business or racing or anything,
Yeah.
Please comment below, and we'll be sure to get back to you. And we'll see you next time on the Meet the Team series.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Yep.